Snail day. Hello, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, good morning. Snail day today. You can paint with me. Antoine, you're the only one here, so I'm not going to mute you. But please, again, with the balloon breathing exercise, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Would you like to tell me what it is? Do you know what the balloon breathing exercise is? So, good morning everybody. Welcome to my live coaching session. I do live coaching sessions every day at this time. And if you would like to take part, you are welcome to pop a coaching question in the chat or let me know an area that you would like me to talk about, whether it be social anxiety, problems with roommates, health, weight loss goals, issues with your partner or your friends, career problems, anything like that. You can let me know and I will help disappear your problems. That's what I do here. Hey Miguel, it's going excellently, thank you. Antoine, I don't speak French, only English and Portuguese. I used to study French at school, but I've forgotten it all. Have you ever been to Disney? Oh, it's the dog. Yes, I have been to Disney. I have been to Disney in Florida and Disney in California and Disney in Paris. I love Disney World. I would like to go to the one in Japan as well. Would you like to go to Disney? I really want to take my kids there. So I'm just going to use that as an example of how I can help you disappear your problems. So say you want to go to Disneyland. Yes, I've been to Disney in California many times. That's the one I've been to most often. So let's say, for example, Miguel, that you want to go to Disney in California, but you're telling yourself that you can't go. You're telling yourself, I don't have enough money to go to Disneyland, but I really want to go. So firstly, when we have a problem, we tell ourselves we can't do something because of some reason. And the reason, generally speaking, has nothing to do with the problem. It's just something that we tell ourselves. So if I were to say, I want to go to Disney, but I don't have the money for it, these are actually two completely separate things, right? I want to go to Disney and I don't have enough money. So these two things are not joined together, because if you think about it, what if your mother-in-law offers to take you to Disneyland, right? Then you don't need the money. What if you win a trip to Disneyland? Then you also don't need money, right? So wanting to go to Disneyland and not having money are two separate issues. And so instead of saying, I want to go to Disneyland, but I don't have the money, you can say, I want to go to Disneyland. Here's my nail polish. I just started. Or do you mean the bottles? Here's the bottles. I want to go to Disneyland and I don't have money in my bank account at the moment. Hey, Oscar. Yes, I have watched Bridgerton. I bloody love it. Downton is the best, though. Downton Abbey. So I want to go to Disneyland and I don't have money. These two problems are not related. In fact, one of them is not a problem. Wanting to go to Disneyland is not a problem. It's a dream or a wish or a want. Not having money also not necessarily a problem. I've managed to get by for several months without any, and I'm doing just fine. But anyway, that's a different story. Sorry, I was reading your message. I just started and it's quite nice. Yeah, I do like it. I just find the people are all a bit grumpy in Bridgerton. So, first of all, we need to separate what we want from what we believe is stopping us from getting it. Now, the reason that we're telling ourselves we need money to get to Disneyland is because, as per our past experience, that's what our brains think we have to do. Our brains work on past knowledge, and our brains make connections. So when we have a new experience, i.e. wanting to go to Disneyland, our brains will use all the past experience that we have to think, okay, how do I get to Disneyland? Okay, well, I need a plane. How do I get on a plane? Well, I need money. That's how I did it last time, right? Last time I went on a plane, I bought my own ticket. I needed money to do that. Thank you so much, Miguel. And that's how I got there. So your brain will only give you ideas on how to get to Disneyland that it is aware of, right? And that's why we are limited, because there are infinite possibilities for getting to Disneyland and infinite possibilities on how to get money or how to get tickets in order to do so. But our brain only knows the options that it's come across in the past, or that it's been told by friends, or that it's seen on TV, something like that. Why were you stressed yesterday, Oscar? Yes, I love Disney parks. So I'm actually I'm kind of coaching myself through this at the moment, because I actually really want to take my kids to Disneyland and I don't have the money at the moment. So I'm kind of working through this problem with you guys in real time. So our brains tell us we want to do things the way we know how they can be done, okay? So we need money to get to Disneyland. It's not the only way. There are many other ways. Family, for example. My mum used to take us on holiday. So I've been to Disneyland not most of the times actually, a few times with my mum. So she paid for the trips, right? They were family trips. I was much younger. I was like 17. I was 17 the first time I went to Disneyland. And my mum paid for me, so I didn't have to pay for it. I also won a holiday once. It wasn't to Disneyland, but winning holidays is another thing you can do. Also, another idea is travel blogs. If you have a certain number of followers, hotels or airlines sometimes will allow you to take free trips in return for reviewing them on your social media. So there's multiple ways of getting to Disneyland without needing money. So when I tell people to follow my 3-step problem solver, and I say first step is to change your language, what you're actually doing is you're tricking your brain into looking for solutions that it hasn't yet considered, rather than closing your brain off to an opportunity, which is what you do when you say, I can't go because Disneyland is so expensive. Notices has just written it in the chat, Disneyland is so expensive. Right, it is. And that's part of the experience. That's part of why you go to Disneyland, right? To buy overpriced Disney products. And it's not necessarily a problem. It's just something that you have to take into consideration. It's part of the experience. Do you think people would love Disneyland so much if it was cheap and you could go all the time? No, it's expensive because it's like a special treat. I already speak English. How can I go to Disneyland? Well, speaking English is not a prerequisite of going to Disneyland. But having money is, unless you can get a free ticket somehow, which is entirely possible. If you want to go to Disneyland and and you aren't able to get a ticket for free, consult with your intuition on how to make money to get to Disneyland. You can ask your intuition anything, and it will always give you the answer that is of your highest and best good. So what I mean by that is, most people, if they need some extra money for something, they think to themselves, I've got to get a job, right? They think, I need somebody to pay me to go to work. And if you already have a job, you might look for an extra job, or you might want to quit your job and find a better paying job, right? That's what most people do when it comes to when they want to make more money. These are not the only options. These are just the options that you've thought about before, right? Or somebody else has had work for them before. If you want to make money, there are myriad options all of the time in order to do so. You can literally create and sell a product within like an hour, right? So think about something that you know about. You can ask your intuition something that you know about that other people might want to know, and create a PDF or a short ebook and sell it on your social media. Put it on Gumroad for free, right? Create a link in Linktree for free, put it on your social media and make some videos talking about it. You can make money in hours if you want to. You don't need to go through the whole process of looking for a job, going to an interview, fighting it out amongst other candidates. You have knowledge, you have skills that other people will pay for. And when you ask your intuition how to make money, your intuition will give you ideas like this, right? Your intuition will be like, so for me, I recently had asked my intuition how to make some money because I had some bills coming up, and I was instructed to create a PDF on how to exit the matrix. So I created the PDF in like a couple of hours. I put it on my Linktree. It's like $5. And then I created a bunch of content off the back of it. And that was it. I just put it there. And people bought it. Hey, Jason. I wish I was back 7 to 11 years ago in high school when I was a lot happier. Alrighty, Jason. Why were you happier in high school? Why were you happier in high school? What is it that's stopping you from being happy now? Because happiness is a choice. Anyone can choose to be happy at any time. People think happiness is a factor of external circumstances. And people keep themselves limited with this view, because if happiness is a function of your external circumstances, then you don't get to control it. You are at the whim of your surroundings and your circumstances. And what we talk about here on my channel is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is your ability to control your own emotions and choose when you can be happy. School was a lot better. Why was it a lot better? Give me some details, Jason. Give me some details so I can tell you that they're all nonsense. High school was a lot better. Okay, well, we can work with that for starters anyway. High school was a lot better. I don't know. All right, Jason, let's go with what we have. High school was a lot better. So it doesn't matter why it was better. You are comparing. You are comparing the past to the present. You could talk to your friends all day and had no responsibilities. Well, that is true. These things are true. And you liked that, right? You liked not having responsibilities. But you know, when you don't have responsibilities, you also don't get to make your own decisions, right? When you're in high school, when you don't have responsibilities, you have got to be home by the time your parents tell you to be home. You've got to eat the food that your parents tell you to eat. You survive on money that your parents give you. You are completely reliant on your parents, and you are completely answerable to them, right? So having no responsibilities is great insofar as you never have to answer for anything, but you're being controlled because you're under your parents' roof, you're under your parents' instruction. You don't mind that. Okay, you don't mind being controlled. Well, obviously not, because you're controlling yourself. I want you to think about something that you like. I mean, you're still in school. There you go, Oscar. You're still in school, right? You're in college at the moment. Right, Jason? And you're saying you want to be back in high school because no responsibilities and you get to talk to your friends all day. But if you're in college, you can still talk to your friends all day, right? And after that, when you get a job, it sucks compared to high school. Oh, Jason, you are not in a happy place today, are you? Has something happened, Jason? You are... you're not coming through very... I don't know. You just seem sad. Oscar, I'm in high school and I have to do all the errands at home. Oscar, why don't you tell Jason 3 reasons that it sucks to be in high school? How can I buy your ebook? The link is in my bio, in my TikTok bio. It's also in my Instagram bio. Eleanor_Moreles on Instagram, and it's called Universal the Guide. So yeah, you can grab it through the link in my bio. It's on Gumroad. And this is what I was saying. It's easy to write something with your knowledge and pop it on Gumroad if you want to make money. Today I'm cranky Kathy for some reason. Yes, I am sensing that, Jason. Alrighty. So, I mean, we all have days like that, right? We all have days where we wake up and we are just not in the mood for life. And we wish we could go back to a happier time. We can't. Right? We can't go back to what we perceive to have been a happier time. We are stuck in the present moment. There you go, Oscar. There you go, Jason. Oscar has just given you 3 reasons why high school sucks. Teenagers, agreed. Uni pressure, agreed. Adult life coming, agreed. Noti says, your ebook teaches how to turn your knowledge into money. There are absolutely exercises in there that will help you do that. Yes. My ebook teaches you how to follow your intuition. And as part of following your intuition, you can use that to make money. 100%. I think that's what most people use it for, to be honest. Hi, Teacher George. Brasil aqui também. Eu moro no Goiás. My birthday... Yes, you said May, didn't you, Oscar? It's in May. What day? I think the main crux of it is that I enjoyed my teenage life more. Right, Jason, okay. Sorry, I'm going to stop getting distracted. You enjoyed your teenage life. Remove more. You enjoyed your teenage life. Great, that's great. I loved my teenage life too. My gosh, I got up to some nonsense. I loved my teenage life. My teenage life was great. I'm not in my teenage life anymore. I'm 40. You are also not in your teenage life anymore. You are 25, right? Okay? Teenage life is gone. That is a memory. And it's a happy memory. Great. You are in the present moment now. You can't get out of the present moment. You can never get out of the present moment. You are not going to your future. You are not going to relive your past. You are right here in the present moment. So I want you to just take a moment, Jason, just close your eyes for a second, breathe a little bit, and just remind yourself of what you have right now, okay? just remind yourself of what you have right now. You are watching me from a phone or a tablet or a laptop, okay? You are lucky enough to have a phone or a tablet or a laptop and internet, okay? You're sitting somewhere. You're on a couch, you're on your bed, you're sitting somewhere, okay? You have that. Some people don't have that. I walk outside of my house and I live in Brazil. There are homeless people everywhere. They don't have anywhere to sit. They don't have anywhere to sit. You have somewhere to sit, Jason. You have somewhere to sit. You have an electronic device. You have electricity to charge your electronic device, and you have the internet. What else do you have right now? You are safe, right? Nobody's trying to kill you right now. You can breathe. You can move all of the parts of your body, right? You have health. You have the ability to communicate with people, okay? You're in school, you're learning. This is amazing. Like, so many people don't get to go to school after the free education finishes. That's it, they're done. They got to go find a job, they got to go work. You got to go to university. Just take a moment and sit and appreciate all of the things that you've got going for you right now, okay? Like, I don't need you to take any huge leaps here. Just think about, like, I'm grateful for this chair. I'm grateful for this table that I can rest my phone on. I'm grateful to have nail polish that cost 3 fucking reals. 3 reals this cost. 50 cents. Not even 50 cents. 40 cents. 40 cents. No, 60 cents. That was bad math. Hello, successful. School and knowledge shouldn't be a privilege. It's so fucked up. You're right, Oscar. School and knowledge should not be a privilege. Accommodation should not be a privilege. Food should not be a privilege. Access to healthcare should not be a privilege. Yes, George, I live in Goiás. These things should not be privileges, but the way our society has been constructed so that it benefits the few at the top and leaves everybody else floundering around in the middle means that we have to pay for this stuff, and that means that not everybody gets access to it. And so we can always take a moment to be grateful for what we have, right? I'm English. I live in Brazil. So eu falo português, mas eu não falo muito melhor. E eu falo inglês fluente. Oh my days, it's so boiling hot over there. Yes, it is. Summer is coming, and I am grateful for it because I am English. The people in England at the moment, I don't know what's going on with the weather, but it is freezing cold in the UK at the moment, and I am grateful every minute for this boiling hot sun because I like the heat, I like the sun. Rain is depressing. I don't like it. One day, Teacher George, one day I will come to Rio for sure. So Jason, like, just take a moment and this practice of just feeling gratitude and don't try and force yourself to feel something that you're not feeling. Like, if I'm saying to you appreciate the chair and you're like, fuck you, dude, like, why would I appreciate a chair? Okay, that's not going to work. Find something that you actually do appreciate. Okay, find something about your present moment. You are safe, you are warm, you have somebody that you love, that you want to propose to, you are in school, you are studying something that you enjoy. Whatever you can appreciate and really feel that appreciation, really feel that gratitude, allow those feelings to move through your body and replace the cranky feelings, okay? So, like, you've been wallowing in your crankiness. That's okay. It's okay to feel the crankiness. It's okay to get that out. And then once you're done feeling that crankiness and wallowing in it and you're ready to move on, try feeling some gratitude, some appreciation for just simple things that you have in this moment that other people may not have, that you can appreciate, right? I can breathe, right? I was talking to a lady yesterday. She's 54. Like, I thought she was so much older, bless. She's 54. She was hit by a car. So a man fell asleep at the wheel 12 years ago. So when she was my age, she would have been 42. Somebody fell asleep behind the wheel of their car and they hit her car, and it damaged her legs. So she has a video on her Instagram of her legs that are like just shredded, like there's scars running all down them. She lost a lot of feeling in her legs, and ever since that happened, she's had these like major shakes. She's like always shaking like this all the time, like her whole body all of the time. And so like on a lot of her Instagram videos, she's like this, right? Because somebody, like, she was just out for a drive, picking her kid up from school or going to the grocery store, and somebody hit her car. And ever since, for the past 12 years, she can't walk right, and she's constantly, her whole body moving, shaking, right? She's discovered this neurological neurotechnology patch thing that she can put on her that like keeps the shakes away, but now she's reliant on this patch. Thank you. I always need Portuguese help. I can read about 75% of the sentences that come through to me in Portuguese, and then I need help with the other 25%, generally speaking. And I have my lovely friend Oscar here, who is usually helping me out with that, because my husband doesn't watch my lives anymore. I don't know if he's on here. I don't think so, because he hasn't said anything. But yeah, he used to sit over there watching my lives. I must bore him now. He doesn't watch me anymore. Yeah, appreciation and gratitude. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna mute him. Sorry, Antoine. You keep saying it again. I don't know what it is. I gotta mute you. How do I mute? There we go. Mute. No, my husband is Portuguese. Brazilian. My husband speaks Portuguese. I live in Brazil. Yeah, Jason, try that, please. I don't like people wallowing in crankiness. Like it, as I said, it happens to everybody. People wake up in a bad mood sometimes. Did you guys just see those two birds just flew past my head? The birds just flew from the kitchen all the way through and out the window. Boop. Two birds. Yes, everybody wakes up in a bad mood sometimes, but you don't have to wallow in it, okay? You can choose to feel grateful, you can choose to feel appreciation, and you can choose to elevate your mood. Or you can choose to sit and wallow in it. I just want to let you know that you have the choice. You don't have to sit and wallow. You have a choice. It's a public holiday here today, guys. Brazil has a lot of public holidays compared to the UK. Hi, Christina. Welcome. So Jason was just talking to us about the fact that he's a bit grumpy today. And so I was telling him to take a few moments and look for something in his life that he can feel grateful for, that he can appreciate, so that he can elevate his mood by focusing on appreciation and gratitude. And we kind of just got done talking about that. So now I'm waiting for somebody else to ask me another question. Our Brazilian culture is so rich. We love summer. We love the beach. Yes. We are planning on moving to the beach in July. We are planning on moving to Bahia, which I'm really excited about. Now, July is coming quite quickly, and I did realise today on the 1st of May that we haven't done anything about moving to Bahia, such as we have to sell all of our stuff. Because most of the apartments there are furnished, so we've got to sell our furniture, and we're not going to take our car, we're going to sell the car. So there are things to be done before we move, and we haven't done any of them yet. So I became aware of this today. Bom dia, Jefferson, tudo bem? Boa. Eu tô boa. Canada has like none. It's so weird. Like culture. That's interesting. Actually, that is interesting, because I know Canada's like a new country, like the US, but there must be some history since before the white people got there. And it's funny how some countries really embrace their culture and their history, and some countries just ignore it. So I lived in Australia, right? Australia and New Zealand are very close together. Australia and New Zealand have a similar kind of history. So it's the Maori people in New Zealand and the Aboriginals in Australia, right? Those are the tribal people of those lands. In New Zealand, they have so much respect for the Maori people. They tell the Maori story. Like wherever you go in New Zealand, you will see Maori history. They are proud of their history. The Maori people are, they protect their culture, they show their culture, they dress in tribal dress, they sing their tribal songs. There are places you can go learn about their religion, their culture, everything. In Australia, it's the exact opposite. Aboriginals have been stamped out. They are collected. Like this happens. Aboriginal people are collected and they are put into like camps where they have to live in tents on the outskirts of cities. They don't have access to or they have different access to like healthcare, anything that like regular Australians get as a matter of standard, like healthcare. Aboriginals have like their own special rules. They're not able to access the same systems that everybody else, the education system, the healthcare system. Their history and culture is not referenced. In Australia, you can go for months traveling around the country and see no hint of it. So two countries right next to each other have taken two very different approaches to like hiding the history and celebrating the history, which like I take personal offence to. I'm not going to let it screw up my day, but I find it very disrespectful that Aboriginals are treated the way they are in Australia. And so I wonder if it's something similar in Canada, because I know in the US, I know there are some areas where like tribes are like there are tribal reserves, right, where the tribes are kind of kept in their own little area and self-protected that way. And it's similar in Brazil. There's a lot of tribes in the Amazon, but I don't know anything about Canada. Christina, sorry, yes, I wasn't reading just then, so I did not see your comment. Let me just go back. Oscar, I make my own and skip school. Oh, you live in Bahia. Amazing. Oh, I was in Caraíva in February and I just fell in love. I might not be Brazilian then. Right, Christina, how do you deal with getting old, which affects me on a personal level? Right, Christina, this also affects me. Hence my taking offence to you calling me young lady the other day, which I'm honestly so grateful to you for pointing out to me. Did I tell you that somebody else called me young lady the other day and I got annoyed with them as well? So like you really hit a button for me, and I'm really glad you did, because now I can get over it. How do you deal with getting old? Right, so first thing is to not associate getting old with being a problem, right? Getting old is not a problem. It's natural, it's life, it's not a problem. The way our society is constructed makes us feel like it's a problem sometimes, because we have beauty standards and we have the media and all of these things telling us that, you know, we need to stay young forever, we need to look young forever, and, you know, getting old is a problem, right? It's not a problem. It's just life. It's literally how we were designed. So that's the first thing, is moving away from seeing getting old as being a problem. The second thing is, oh, hang on, I had it and now it's gone. Right, yeah. The second thing is, Christina, do you remember any point in your childhood in which you looked in the mirror and you either said something to yourself, or, you know, you thought something about yourself, like as a kid? So I remember when I was a kid, I used to do my hair in the same hairstyle every day. I used to part it in the middle and do like a low ponytail. And I remember looking in the mirror every morning doing my hair like that, right? So that's mine. I don't know what yours might be, but just remember a time that you were looking. Hi, Maria Luz, my favourite. How are you doing? We're talking about getting older, Maria Luz. Talking about getting older. So remember a time when you looked in the mirror when you were a kid, right? And just, you don't need to remember all of the details, but just remember you looking at you, right, and seeing you. And now, look in the mirror. Like, you can go look in the mirror now, or you can remember like a few minutes ago when you were brushing your teeth or whatever, when you were brushing your hair this morning. But you looking in the mirror now, right? Now compare those yous. Not the you that you saw in the mirror, but the you that was looking in the mirror. Right? So when you were a kid, so my example, I would have been 8 or 9 when I was doing that hairstyle every morning. And it was me looking in the mirror, right? It was me thinking about life. It was me thinking about going to school today. It was me thinking about, have I done my homework? It was me thinking these things. And now I look in the mirror now and I brush my hair. And I actually take a moment to do this most mornings when I'm brushing my teeth, evenings when I brush my teeth. And I remind myself, it's the same me. It's the exact same me. I don't feel any older. The thing that I see in the mirror, the face that I see in the mirror. Hi, Wellen, welcome. You've changed your name. Wellen Hacks. It's the face that I see when I look in the mirror has changed, right? I have these lines now. Yeah, I have this discoloration now. I didn't have that when I was 8 years old. The face has changed, but the me that's looking is the same me. The me on the inside, the consciousness, hasn't aged. And our consciousness is eternal. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, right? And our bodies are biological. Our bodies age. Right? Our body's constantly changing, it's constantly aging. Our bodies are getting older. But our consciousness, the energy that makes up us, the thoughts and the intuition and the higher us, the higher consciousness, whatever you want to call it, that doesn't age. It is eternal. It's just our bodies aging. As we pass through time, as we go through our life, our bodies get older, but our mind, it stays the same. It's not quite our mind, is it, right? It's the thing controlling our mind. It's our higher consciousness, our soul, our spirit. It doesn't age, it stays the same. You felt the same looking in the mirror when you were a kid as you feel looking in the mirror now. It's just that the body that you're in, the face that you're looking at has changed. Okay? So that's the second thing to bear in mind. Firstly, getting older isn't a problem. Hi, Anthony. Getting older is not a problem. It's life. It's natural. It's the cycle. It's the cycle that we all go through. Second thing is, you don't get older. It's just your body getting older. And it's not a problem. It's just life. You, your higher consciousness, your spirit, your soul, your essence, it doesn't get older. It is eternal. Okay? And so whether you believe in reincarnation or whether you believe in heaven and hell, whatever you believe happens to your consciousness after your body dies, your consciousness will still be there. It will be eternal, wherever you believe it goes, right? We do not get old. It's only our body that gets old. Exactly. And so, given these two things, given it's not a problem to get old, and given it's just your body getting old, not you, can you find a way to embrace and enjoy it, right? Can you find things to appreciate about getting older? So for me, I'm just going to be honest here, right? Okay, I started modelling when I was 13 years old. I started modelling when I was 13 years old. I, since then, have always been very hyper-focused on how I look, right? I always take care to, present myself well. I don't always wear makeup or brush my hair, but I feel good in my skin, right? I go to the gym. I it's funny because since I became a mum, I started taking a lot less care. I always used to wear makeup. I always used to have my hair dyed. I always used to have cute outfits. I don't do those things anymore, but I still feel good in my skin. So whatever it is that helps me feel good. So now it's more about the gym. Like I go to the gym, I keep my body looking good. So I have a focus on the external and preserving myself and feeling pretty, feeling beautiful, right? And as I've gotten older, that's become harder to do. And as like becoming a mother, right? I don't have so much, I don't have like an hour and a half in the mornings to get ready anymore, right? Now I get ready in 5 minutes, and I'm lucky if I get that. But I still do things that make me feel good in my skin is the point. And so getting older for me, because I'm healthy, I haven't had any like aches and pains associated with getting older yet, but I have changed. Like my face has changed. I've got more lines and wrinkles and things. And I had to become okay with that. And for a while, I actually talked about this on my Instagram. I don't know if you have time to go scrolling back through my Instagram to find it, but I used to, so for a period, I avoided looking in the mirror. I didn't look in the mirror. Like I had young kids, I wasn't doing my makeup, wasn't doing my hair, wasn't going out, so I didn't look in the mirror. And I was avoiding myself, right? And then whenever I was looking in the mirror, I was fixated on my skin, like on the wrinkles, on the discoloration, on the acne breakouts that I still get. I was fixated on it. And so I was investing a lot of energy into, like, you're ugly, you're old, you have bad skin. Whenever you meet new people, all they would see is your skin. Like you can't create content looking like this. You have to cover your skin up when you're making videos and stuff. I was hyper fixated on it. I was investing a lot of energy into it. I was investing a lot of money into it, getting treatments, taking medicines, having laser, light surgery, having chemical peels. Like I was focused on this problem that I had created for myself, right? And then at some point last year, in September last year, I remember it, I made a video, my first ever video, with no filters, no makeup, just me and my skin. And I got real close to the camera, and I had a big spot at the time with a whitehead, and I made a video saying, this is my skin. I'm not going to be ashamed of it anymore. I'm not going to invest more energy into hating it. I'm not going to do any more treatments. I'm not going to spend any more money. I'm not going to spend hours looking in the mirror, picking at my skin anymore. I'm removing the power that my skin has over me. Right? I did this exercise. I made this video. So first I changed my language. I did my 3 steps, my 3-step problem solver, right? First I changed my language, stopped saying I hate my skin. Just stopped saying anything about my skin. Right? I didn't change it to I love my skin, because that didn't feel right yet. I just stopped talking about my skin, stopped complaining about it, stopped making it a problem. Then I took a step in the right direction. I made the video with my natural skin. And then I kept taking steps in the right direction. I kept not talking about my skin, not looking at my skin, not picking at my skin, not putting loads of creams on my skin, and not putting loads of makeup on to make videos. And so whatever problem you have with getting older, whether it's like, for me it was looks, for you it might be something else, whatever problems you have created around getting older, my recommendation is that you stop having them be problems. Stop investing your energy into them, stop investing your thoughts into them, stop investing your money and your time into them, and just accept, this is me. I don't age. My body is aging, and it's not a problem. Like that's the end goal of where to get to. And another way to help do that is to find things that you love about getting older, right? So I literally, this was tangible for me. The day after my 40th birthday, I woke up feeling different. Like a tangible difference. Like, I know what I'm here on earth to do now. I spent the whole of my 30s trying to figure it out. I spent the whole of my 20s partying, making the most of life, traveling. And then I spent the whole of my 30s working really hard and trying to figure out what life was all about, trying to figure out what my life path was, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And then on the day after my 40th birthday, I woke up and I was just like, okay, I'm ready to actually just start living my life now. I'm ready to appreciate what I've got. I'm not on an eternal quest anymore. I'm ready to start taking steps towards my goals. And I can appreciate that about getting older. That surety that comes with age. That surety of, I know why I'm here. I know what I'm doing. I know how to adult. Like, I'm not going to let the small stuff bother me anymore. Hello, saludos, Valdesi. Hello. Oi, Matt, tudo bem? João, salve. English people are so smart, so open. People do not generally call English people open. That's not what I've heard before. I consider myself to be pretty open because I talk a lot. It's a little sad when you think that you have lived longer than you're going to. But it's only sad if you tell yourself that it's sad, Anthony. Stop telling yourself that it's sad, because how many people didn't get to live to how old you are? How happy is it that you got to live to how old you are and you still have more to live? How great is that? My father passed away when he was 57. And he appreciated his life. He was very intuitive like me. He was very spiritual. He was like a Christian, so it was like Christian spirituality, but he took the messages of Christian spirituality, not the rule book, right? He took the spiritual side of it, not the you have to follow what this book says. And he was very like me. And so I know that even though he died at 57, which some people would consider to be young, to me at the time I was 23, so it felt old to me. I was like, oh my God, he's almost 60. Like, it felt old to me at 23. Now I'm 40, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, that was really young. But he was so appreciative of his life. He lived a small life, right? He never really did anything. He lived in one small apartment his whole, since after he divorced my mum, the whole time. He had one job. He worked one job and he loved it. He was a gardener. He loved his job. He loved gardening. He loved being outdoors. He loved his life. And so, although I was sad to lose my father at a young age, I wasn't sad in so much as I knew that he had enjoyed and appreciated his life. And so your story that you're telling yourself, Anthony, about it being sad when you look back and think I've lived more than I'm going to, it's only sad because you're saying it is. It's only sad because you're sad right now. You're not happy with your life. It's not at its full potential. And so it's sad because you're sad. Murray Luz, I love getting older and wiser. Me too. I'm embracing it now. And my husband's younger than me, so my husband's younger than me and my kids are young. My kids are 2 and 4, which most of my friends my age, their kids are much older by now. So I still very much feel young. The friends that I'm making now are 26, 28, because I'm meeting girls at the gym, right? So I'm hanging out with not yet 30-year-olds, and I feel young. I don't feel older than them. It's about how you feel. How to care... Okay, change of subject. How to care less about toxic people. People who aren't where we want to be in life. Jason, you want to answer? Sorry, I'm just joking, because Jason's asked me this question and similar questions before. Hang on, Gonna get some water if I don't break my hand on my water bottle. One moment. There you go. Jason's answered. You do listen to me, Jason. Let it go. Jason's right. All right, so I'm going to give you my usual spiel, which Jason can probably repeat word for word at this point. Other people are a reflection of you. Okay? When you meet other people, you are judging them based on your own prior experiences. So, for example, if you meet somebody and they are dressed in like clothes from a charity shop, secondhand clothes, they are smelly and they've got holes in their shoes, you are going to judge them based on that opinion. Because in your experience, people who dress like that are poor or homeless or whatever you have experienced, right? Now, if you grew up in a favela and you saw somebody dressed in charity shop clothes, then you might judge them to be rich. Because if you grew up in a favela, you would probably have been wearing the same clothes every single day, or like, I don't know, like not have access to clothes at all. And you see somebody that's in secondhand clothes and you're like, wow, they're rich, like they can afford to go buy secondhand clothes, they can get new clothes, right? So you make a snap judgment on them based on your past experience. So whether it's on what they're wearing, whether it's on what they say, you know, they might say something to you and you could judge that as an intelligent thing to say if you are used to being around like kids or stupid people. Or you might judge it as a stupid thing to say if you are used to being around university professors all the time or politicians who like to talk like they know everything, right? So based on your past experience, you will make judgments of this new person that you have met, right? And as you get to know the person more, you'll add to your stories. You'll add to your stories about them through what they tell you or what other people tell you about them. Now, what they tell you may or may not be true. You will never know. This person may be a pathological liar who only tells you lies, or this person may be very vulnerable and authentic. You will never know. You will only know what they tell you. You will never know if what they tell you is true. So you will also add what they tell you to your story about them, right? So you're putting your own past experiences and judgments onto them. You're adding in what they say, which may or may not be true. You're adding in what other people think about them that they're telling you. Oh, like this person's really smart. So you're like, okay, this person's really smart. And you're adding that in. Or, you know, if your friend says, don't tell them any secrets, that person's a gossip. And you're probably not going to tell them your secrets, right? You're going to think of them all like they're a gossip and, you know, I can't tell my secrets to them. So you build up this whole picture of other people, right? Every single person in your life, you do this too. You build up your own picture of them. And it's only as accurate as you believe it to be, right? Because also added into all this, people can change in the blink of an eye. I am not the same person that my husband married. I have changed so much. Luckily, he has changed right along with me and continued to love me as I have been going through this crazy journey of expansion. But people change in an instant. They can make one decision or come across one TikTok that changes their whole trajectory of their lives, right? So you never know the other person. You cannot ever know the other person. You only have your opinion of the other person. So when you're saying that they're toxic, that is your judgment of them. You are judging them to be toxic. And you are judging them to be toxic based off of your own past experience of toxic people, or what you've seen on TV about toxic people, or your best friend's experience with a toxic partner and they told you all the toxic things they did. You're basing this diagnosis of toxicity based on your past experience, based on your past knowledge, right? It's a story. They are not a toxic person. You're just telling yourself that they are, right? And their actions may back you up. So I've talked about this before, but your brain has something called confirmation bias. When you entertain a thought in your brain, when you invest energy into a thought in your brain will go out looking for all the ways that it is right. Your brain likes to prove you right. So if you say to yourself, oh, this person's toxic, your brain's going to go, yeah, just look at that behavior, so toxic. Just look at what they just said, so toxic, right? Your brain is constantly trying to prove how right you are, which is why it's important to watch our language, especially when we're saying negative things. So your brain will be looking for ways to prove how toxic that person is, right? It doesn't mean they are toxic. If you tell yourself that the person is not toxic, that they're lovely, if you empathize with them and you think, oh, you know, they're probably just doing that because they're really afraid and alone, then your brain's going to say, oh, okay, they're not toxic. They had awful parents growing up who just ignored them all the time. And so now they constantly feel the need to prove themselves. I can empathize with that. Look at their behavior, so toxic. Yeah. So my point is, the fact that they are toxic is not a fact at all. It's your opinion, your judgment. And what can you do about that? So you have a choice to make. Like, you can continue telling yourself that they're toxic and go from there. Avoid them. Like, just don't invest energy into it. Just avoid them, right? Like, just don't hang out with that person anymore. Maybe that's not possible. Maybe it's like a family member. And if it's not possible and that's not what you want to do, you want to see past your own stories, then do the 3 steps that I always talk about. So first, change your language. Stop telling yourself that that person is toxic. Start looking for reasons why. No, start telling yourself that they're not toxic. They're not toxic, okay? This person's not toxic. It can be as simple as that. Or you can just start calling them something else. This person is really tall. Start associating their height with them rather than their toxicity. This person is really beautiful. This person has beautiful eyes. You know, start thinking about them as the person with the beautiful eyes rather than the toxic person. Change your language. And in changing your language, your brain will go off and do what it does. It will try to prove you right. So if you change your language from this person is sorry, the dog wants to come. This person is toxic to this person has beautiful eyes, all of a sudden your brain isn't looking for reasons why they're toxic anymore. Your brain's now looking for how beautiful their eyes are. And, you know, doesn't this colour look nice on them because it brings out their eyes? And my gosh, look how long their eyelashes are, right? Your brain's going to go out trying to seek that you're right. So first, change your language. Second step, take a step in the right direction, which is go find something that you like about them. Go find something that you appreciate about them. Go find something that gives you better feelings than the toxicity story. And the third step is keep doing that until it's not a problem anymore. Okay, I'm just going to scroll back because I was on a roll, not reading the messages. Let go. Yes, that's what Jason said. We judge people by our own experience. Exactly. And that's the only way we can judge them. So as humans, like, part of our biology is that we seek to find meaning in things. We seek to associate meaning with things, right? But there is no inherent meaning in anything. Only the meaning we give it. There is no inherent meaning in anything. We put our projections out, our thoughts, our opinions, our experience out onto things, right? I think this is a table because in my experience, tables look like this, right? I think this is a dog because in my experience, dogs look like this. But if I had been brought up to believe this was a cat, right? If everybody had told me this is a cat, my parents taught me this is what cats look like. I went to school and at school they showed pictures of animals like this and said this is a cat. Then I would think it was a cat. The fact that it exists and it looks like this doesn't mean it's a dog. It's only a dog because somebody associated that meaning to it and I took on that association. One thing that is true is that whatever this is, it has terrible breath. Terrible breath. She loves to sit here and just like breathe right up into my nose. Do you see what she's doing? She's putting her breath up into my nose and it stinks. which is entirely my own fault because I did not brush her teeth when she was young, and now she has terrible teeth and smelly breath. All my fault. Teacher George, as we grow older, we can read people. Yeah, George, we can read our perceptions of people. So we go through, we take on past experiences, right? Past experiences that tell us, oh, if this person looks up before they speak, it means they're not lying. Or if this person does like this with their body language, it means, they're a closed off person. We can take these little hints and clues, and some people get very good at this, right? At reading like body language and stuff like that. And we can apply it to the new people that we meet, but it doesn't make it right, because there's always going to be exceptions, and you're never going to know who are the exceptions. And it may feel natural for people to stand like this, and it may give out a signal of them being closed off. But for some people, they just like to cross their arms. Like for example, I never sit with my feet on the floor. I find it really uncomfortable. I've always, if you've been here for any amount of time, you see me, I'm constantly moving around. I'm constantly crossing my legs, putting my knees up here. And body language experts would probably read something into that. I don't know what it means, but they would probably read something into it. But for me, I'm just trying to get comfortable. I don't like sitting with my feet on the floor, So we can read people better because we've got more experience, but there's nothing to guarantee that reading is correct, or that our interpretation of their behavior or whatever is correct. You have to take what they tell you as gospel. No, you don't. Why do you? Why do you, Jason? Teacher George, we can tell what they are up to. Am I wrong? You can tell what you think they're up to. But it just goes back to what I was saying. There is no way of ever really knowing somebody else, because you never know. Okay, here's an extra level to an extra layer to it. You don't know if they're telling the truth. You can assume that most people are honest, right? I like to assume that most people are honest. And probably most people like to assume that they are honest, right? But they might be lying to themselves. And this is where the body language thing comes in. Teacher George, or getting a read on people comes in. Because I present myself as being very honest and authentic. I tell people that I'm honest. I talk a lot about things that happened to me in the past. I'm very open, right? I consider myself to be an honest person. But through some work that I did with my husband, through a massive fight that I had with my husband when I told him I wanted to go to Hawaii, and he was like, I am not comfortable with that. We had to dig into why he wasn't comfortable with me going to Hawaii. And the reason was because he knew that I'm not always honest, right? Now, as I said, I consider myself an honest person, and his experience was different. His experience was him asking me, are you okay? And me saying yes, and him knowing that I wasn't okay. Him knowing that I was lying, because I don't like confrontation. So if there's a potential argument on the horizon, I will say the things that will stop the argument from happening. And that's not honest. That's not authentic. That's me lying. Right? But I didn't know that. I honestly hadn't really I hadn't taken responsibility for those lies. I thought I was honest because I'm honest about other things. I will tell you anything about my life. I'm honest. But if you want to know about how I'm feeling, and it might cause an argument, I'll cover it up. I'll lie. And now that I'm aware of it, I'm obviously trying not to do that, but it's so deeply ingrained within me that like he'll catch me doing it still sometimes, you know, and he'll be like, I know that's not true, like, why are you saying that? And he'll call me up and I'll be like, oh yeah, no, it wasn't true, okay, actually I'm kind of annoyed with you because you didn't really do the washing up this morning. Right? Oh, TikTok. Okay, TikTok likes to check that I'm real. I think it does that. Does it do that when I've been online for an hour? So sorry guys, TikTok was just making sure I'm still here. I see, neither do I. I hate confrontation. Yeah, like I hate confrontation. I hate arguing. So I'm like a positive person, right? Like I like to be happy. I choose to be happy. I want to spread happy vibes. I want to live in positivity. But in order to live in positivity and be happy, sometimes you got to deal with some annoying stuff that comes up. Sometimes you got to deal with some like feelings, right? Like if I want to be happy and it annoys me when my husband doesn't do the washing up, avoiding that confrontation is not leading me to a happy life. It's leading me to getting annoyed every day and then feeling like I have to cover it up and then taking it out on him later in a different way, right? Whereas if I just say, dude, do the washing up, it really pisses me off when you don't do it. Okay, I might have to have a little bit of a back and forth scuffle, but then it's done, right? I got it off my chest. I was authentic. I was honest. I said what I really thought. And hopefully my husband went and did the washing up. Body language speaks to us. Yeah, it does. Like, I'm not saying that body language doesn't speak to you. What I'm saying is we can never know with 100% accuracy that it's correct, right? Because, for example, some people are experts in body language and they will know how to cover up their own body language if they want to do that, right? For example, some people have disabilities or have diseases within their body that forces their body to act in certain ways that's outside of their control, right? I'm just saying, like, it's not 100% foolproof method, right? And also, who taught you about body language, right? Did you learn from somebody reputable that knows? Or did you learn from somebody that like just wrote a course on the interweb because they needed some money and they just made up a bunch of stuff about body language? Like, how did you learn it? Where did you get this knowledge? You know? Or did you notice it yourself through like a really long period of time? You notice that every time somebody has felt cold and off to you, they're crossing their arms. Right? Like, it's never going to be foolproof because you don't know the other person enough. You never can know them enough. They don't know themselves enough. And if they're lying to themselves, like I was, how does the body language act then? Does the body language act in accordance to what the person believes? Or does the body language act in accordance to the actual real truth that the person has no idea about? Right? It's not foolproof, that's all I'm saying. It probably works in the majority of cases, but it's not foolproof. Alrighty, it's a public holiday here today, which is why I'm on later than usual. I believe my whole house is asleep again. I don't want to let them sleep too late, but we'll probably do like another 15 minutes because I like to take the opportunity to stay on longer when I can. Has manifestation ever worked for you in that you manifested something you really wanted and it happened? Yes, Jason. Oh, yay. Are we going to talk about manifestation again? I loved our manifestation conversation the other day. Just quickly, no teasers. I don't love Brazilian meals like that. No, I don't really like rice. I don't eat meat and I don't... Well, beans are okay. But yeah, I know that's what my husband eats all the time and I'm always like, yeah, I'll have a pizza. Right, manifestation, yes. So I manifest, everybody manifests stuff all the time, right? Whether you believe it or not. Whatever you invest your energy and thoughts into will manifest. So if you're investing your energy and thoughts into being a cranky Cathy, for example, you will be a cranky Cathy. If you invest your energy and thoughts into being a happy, positive person, you will be a happy, positive person. But when you're talking about manifesting like solid items or money, right, it's the same thing. So yes. So let me tell you a little example. I did an exercise a little while back about manifesting $10,000 in 24 hours, right? And it was kind of like an experiment, right? It was a challenge. So we were instructed to instruct our intuition, I want to manifest $10,000 within 24 hours, and then let it go and just go about our day following our intuition. Not just go about our day doing our usual shit, because that will produce your usual results, but go about the day following your intuition and actually doing what it says the whole day, right, for 24 hours. So I did that. And I had requested $10,000, right? And I thought, well, this is a fun experiment. So I did that. And I had requested $10,000, right? And I thought, well, this is a fun experiment because either I get $10,000, which is great, or I don't. And so what? Everything's the same. So I went about my day. I followed my intuition. My intuition didn't really have me do anything outside of the ordinary. It was like dancing at home. My intuition loves to get me to dance at home. I think I did some crafts with the kids that my intuition told me. We might have gone out for a walk. Like nothing crazy. And then 26 hours later, I had kind of forgotten about it because I'd just been like going about my business, and it was the next day, right? Oh, itchy nose has settled in. Oh, the itchy nose is here, damn. And I was in the car with my husband on the way to the gym, and he said, hey babe, we had $10,000 come into our account yesterday. And I was like, because it was so exact, like I hadn't told him what I was doing. I hadn't mentioned anything to him. And I was like, oh my God, the challenge. And I remembered, and I looked in the account, and indeed we had. Now, I had said dollars thinking US dollars. I had received real. So firstly, there was a bit of disappointment to deal with because the real is worth 5 times less. However, the account was up over $10,000. And it wasn't, I think when people want to manifest things, they want it to be magical, right? They want to just see $10,000 in cash on the table appear in front of them, right? They want it to be magical. It was not magical. It was not magical. So 4,000 of it had come because somebody had bashed our car, and the guy's parents, the guy who bashed the car's parents, had given us some money to get the repairs done. So they'd sent 4,000 real. And the other 6,000 real came from a rental payment on my apartment, which I had been expecting because I get it every month, right? So $10,000 had come into the account, had come into my experience, and it wasn't magical. It was almost disappointing if it wasn't for the fact that I hadn't been specific, right? I'd asked for $10,000 in Brazil. They say dollars, even though it's called real. I don't know why you guys use the dollar sign, right? So the universe had done what I said, and I felt had somewhat tricked me. But that's because I had expectations, right? I had expectations around how it would look, and I wanted it to be magical, and it wasn't magical. Do you have to manifest out loud? You don't have to manifest in any particular way, right? Anybody that wants to sell you a manifestation course, anybody that wants to teach you how to manifest is not necessarily lying, but they're selling you useless information, right? You can manifest in any way you want. And maybe they found a technique that works for them. Great. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You need to manifest in any way that you feel resonates for you. You feel like you feel good with. So whether that is saying it out loud, whether it is saying it in your head, whether it is meditating and, you know, getting your brain waves to theta and then subconscious, and then like saying it to your subconscious, whether it's writing it out, whatever it is. Manifestation, all it is putting your energy into a thought to make it a reality. That is what manifestation is. So we have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of thoughts every single day. We choose which ones of those we invest energy into, good energy or bad energy, whatever it may be, and those things manifest over time. Maria Luz, I manifested a plane ticket from one day to the other without money in my bank account. Yeah, amazing. Like, magical things can happen, right? But we have to remove the expectation of how it's going to happen or what's going to happen. Something like that, I had the same thing, Maria Luz, when I went to Vegas, right? I knew I was going to Vegas. I'd organised, I'd booked my spot in Vegas, and I didn't have the money for the plane. And Vegas was like a couple of weeks away, and and I needed to buy the plane ticket to get there. And so I manifested it, right? I was like, I'm going to get the money. I aligned my vibration. I was positive. I just followed my intuition, and like a couple of days later, the exact amount that I needed was refunded to me from an overpayment I didn't know I had made like a year before. The exact amount of money that I needed. So like manifestation can be magical, but I think we expect it to be magical all the time, and it's not magical. It's just life. Like we are constantly manifesting everything in our reality. We have manifested everything. Like the dog, for example, right? I had a thought, I want a dog. And then I started talking about wanting a dog, and then I started visualizing the dog. I had two. This was when I owned my cafe in Sydney, and there were two toy poodles that came to the cafe every day, and I was like, I want dogs like those. I want 2 toy poodles, right? So I had a thought, I invested energy into it, I was thinking about it, I was talking about it, and then I went on Gumtree, I looked for people that were selling 2 toy poodles, and I went and collected the dogs. I manifested that. It wasn't magical. I went on Gumtree, I gave the money to the lady, I had earned the money in my job. It was very normal, but it was a manifestation. I had the thought, and then I got the dog. Oh my God, is my nose ever going to stop itching? Hey, Gabrielle. It literally is just life. Yeah, it's literally just life. It's literally just life. Like Steve Jobs, for example, when he had Apple, and he, I don't know if you've seen the movie. I can't remember the movie's called Jobs, right? And he's like, and he keeps saying like, no, make it smaller, make the MacBook. They were designing the Apple Mac computer, and he kept saying, make it smaller, because he, in his mind, had visualized a small computer. They didn't exist yet at that time. It was an impossibility at that time. And he didn't even do it himself. He got his technicians to do it. Go make a really small computer. Make it smaller. Put the stuff on the inside, not on the outside. Make it smaller. He manifested that. Life is magical. It is. I gotta have this belief. I'm struggling for a while. Struggling with what, George? About things that you want manifesting into your life? Do I have a hair here? Guys, I have, for no reason, the itchiest nose. Just every now and again, my nose starts itching uncontrollably. Oh, it's 12:22. Money-wise. Oh, George, I can talk an hour on this. I have just been through some very exciting and testing money struggles myself. And what I can tell you from my money struggles is to keep putting your focus and attention on the thing that you want to do. So, yeah, okay, perfect. I just kept going. Are you a teacher? Do you teach kids, or what kind of teacher are you? Because presumably that is what you want to do, right? Just keep doing that. keep doing that. And I'm going to tell you, it works, okay? Because I've just had to be doing it, okay? So I'm a coach. I was not making money from being a coach, and yet I am like passionate about it. I fully believe in my capability, my ability, and my purpose of being a coach, right? And I wasn't making any money from it. And so for months, I was just coaching every day, coaching here on TikTok, coaching one-on-one clients, creating a community where I post my coaching content, which you need to go and join via the link in my bio, just coaching. And no money was coming in. And I was on so many occasions so close to giving up, so close to like trying to find a finance job again, or trying to earn money some other way, online. Oh, there was this girl trying to get me to sell water machines for her, and I was like thinking about it. I was like, this coaching thing, it's not paying me enough. Maybe I need to sell these water machines. And I was like, no, take your own advice. Just keep doing it. Keep coaching. Okay, just keep doing it. Yeah, you've been here for a while. Thank you, George. I appreciate you. Keep doing it. And then, literally, it was the last moment. It was the last possible moment. So on the Monday, I had to clear out my UK bank account to pay off my credit card in Brazil, right? And it was the first and only time in my whole life I have been down to zero in all of my accounts. One of my accounts is at negative 8,000. It's a credit card, and I have other credit cards. So I have multiple accounts in negative, and all my debit accounts at zero. It's the first time I'd ever have that happen in my life on the Monday, right? And I was crying and I was screaming. On the Tuesday, I was in the shower. Oh, Jason, Oscar, you guys were there. You weren't in the shower, but you heard about it afterwards. I was crying, I was screaming. I was like, is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? I'm at zero. It's not working, right? About to lose faith, okay? And then somebody sent me an Instagram reel that said, let go of trying to plan and control. Just let it go and expect the unexpected, right? She sent me that Instagram reel, and I was like, okay, there is nothing else I can do at this point. There's nothing, it's too late now. I can't do it. I don't have time to go get a normal job to pay my mortgage in 2 weeks. My mortgage was going to come. It came out yesterday. What's the date? No, it came out today. First, it comes out on the 1st of every month. So this was 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. So on the Monday, cleaned out my account. On the Tuesday, crying in the shower, giving up on life. On the Wednesday, it was on the Thursday morning, my friend sent me the Instagram reel, let it go, everything's out of your control, just let it go. So I let it go. By Thursday evening, I had been offered 3 projects, income-producing projects, right? That night, after just deciding to let it go, surrendering, expecting the unexpected, yeah. So I completed one project on the Friday, the next day, and that was a quarter of my mortgage already got, right? I completed some work for somebody else the following week. I was up to over half my mortgage. And I had not made any income for 3 months at this point. So this was the first money I had made in 3 months. And it was, the timing was just divine. And so, and the other offer was an ongoing job, a part-time role doing data analysis, which is something I enjoyed, something that makes me happy. And the other offer was